it's going to be a bed of roses. It doesn't mean any of that, because it's not about that. We're here to experience all kinds of relationships, whether they are good or bad relative to someone else's perception. But the fact is, to enter into a relationship correctly is not to look to get out. It's not to look inside and say, why did I do this? It's not to torment yourself with the fact that you've made the wrong decision and now you're paying some kind of terrible price for it. You see, the most difficult thing in a human being is to have a place inside of them where they can make a decision and they know it's correct. It doesn't matter what the consequences are. So when you have people come together and they come together correctly, then you know that you're going to have a valued relationship. What we can look at is that because we're going to deal with, not only in our own lives, but with the people around us and the people that we're going to deal with, that we're going to deal with all kinds of relationships initiated out of the not-self, that all we can begin to do is talk about the strategy of how two human beings live with each other. You see, it's a matter of respect. If partners are willing to look at their own nature and the way in which they operate, and if they are willing to experiment with that, there's so many women in my life who are generators who have gone home to their husbands who don't know anything about human design and couldn't care less. And they go home in their relationships that are 5, 10, 15, 20 years old. And instead of babbling and getting caught up in manifesting trips and all the old programming, they're sitting there waiting to respond, and when they're asked something, they go, And they get a vicious reaction to that. It's difficult. It is very difficult to get out of the conditioned field once you're in it, if there's only one of you. It isn't going to help you to know that your husband is a manifester or your wife is a projector unless they themselves are willing to understand what that means, because it's mutual. It doesn't work unless it's mutual. And there is no honesty unless you operate in that way. The not-self is inherently dishonest. It has to be. It's not what it is. It's always trying to live up to something that it's not. When you come finally to looking at how two people come together, there's a basic things that you have to be able to understand. First of all, you have to be able to look at those two people and you have to look at them separately, regardless of the relationship, lovers, blah, 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 whatever. And you have to look at them separately and you have to see what is their definition, what is their type, what is their authority if they have it. Because already